back to another episode of The Reason Being. Today we have a former representative for Jamaica, none other than Stephen Gale. Denby High School man, so you know that was Clarendon. Left and went to South Plains, then to Alabama, then to represent the country on the international level. Kind of
Yeah.
here to just, for a reason, know who is the man. Mr. Gale, how you doing?
Yo, man. Thank you for inviting me on the platform, bro. Big up yourself. I love what you're doing, you know what I mean?
Thank you, man. Just here to shed a light on the people in the sport and the people that were
Yeah.
in the sport. To just kind of help empower the younger generations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but here the reason being, we are all about getting to know the person. But we
Yeah.
know you as the athlete, Stephen Gale, right? But who is Stephen Gale to Stephen Gale?
Yo, so, to be honest, like, I think I'm a person who, like, it's just, like, hardworking, bro. Like, I'm from a place in, like, Maple and Clarendon. That's not necessarily, like, you see a lot of people that make it to the big stage as far as athletes and stuff like that. Like, it's very limited from my community that people that make it out. Anyone's that like I can go back to my community right now and see the same people there for like years. Nothing changed. So
Yeah.
it was just like, like coming from that, bro, I think I pride myself on definitely like working hard and just being able to figure out how to maneuver in like any system or any place I'm at. So yeah, that's what I say a person like me, that's how I am.
So in the household, how was it? Did you have any siblings? Mom, dad?
In my house. So I first of all, I grew up in a 70 Adventist house, bro. I don't know people. I know probably SDA is gonna be watching this, bro. When I said I couldn't go out on Saturdays. So and Saturday is a day in Jamaica when everybody outside have fun and brawl, bro. So it was like I kind of strict.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I have three brothers and sisters and stuff like that. And there's some of them is in Jamaica. One of them just graduated from NCU and stuff like that. So my family is all
Congrats.
over Jamaica right now. So yeah, man.
So I mean, you say you weren't able to go out on a Saturday. Were you able to go to Grand Market? Because I left and went to Grand Market in
Bro,
Maple, and that
I
was
went
like,
one grand market. One grand market.
one.
One.
No, bro.
Listen, the one grand market me go to was before my mom converted us to be a 70 Adventist. So that was before we got into the church. So when we got into the church, every one of them that's it, bro. That was it. We never got
No,
to that much grand
bro.
market.
Grand Market at Maple, bro, is
I
a
was
vibe, bro. I
crazy.
don't know how. No, come on, bro. Grand
Yeah,
Market
it
was,
was crazy. It's
gosh,
crazy.
man. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
But let's
man.
talk about the early upbringings. Denby High School. I did my research and I saw that I couldn't find any evidence of you running track at Denby. Yeah, what was that about?
So in them being, it was more like, bro, like the person I am today, I'm thankful because like it's a whole 360 of the lifestyle I'm used to live. When I was going to Denby
Mm-hmm.
High School, bro, like I said, like I play a ball. My mindset was never to envision doing anything like big as far as on the international stage, right? It was a school, play a ball, and then probably like go to Heart Institution and see if we can get a certification and them thing. That like I'm in tech now. My thing was like, me go find some job like electrician or whatever. Like that was the
Yeah,
vision. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, some
it was
technical
just that.
skills.
Yeah, bro. Like something with my hands was like the goal. Like yeah, bro, go hard school and then see if I can get one of them ship there probably. Or you know what I mean? Like something like that. That was the goal, bro. So track was never a thing.
So I mean, you say you used to play football at Denby. What position you used to play?
So we used to play a defensive. So like we used to be like a left wing. I mean left back, sorry.
Oh,
So left back, we usually play like, but we did fast, but we never even knew say that it was like a thing, like, you know what I mean? But that's usually with the
yeah.
defense. So yeah,
So
bro.
I mean, so what was the transition for you, like from playing football to then trying track and field?
So third form, grade nine, right?
Yeah.
My dad was like, "Yo, listen, him living in the US and thing like that." And we spoke, but like I went him far away. Him never their own. Like so, I just me and my mother and my brothers them and whatever. So it was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, I think it's an opportunity for you to come here and live with me to the US and stuff like that." So I remember me have a medal from sports day. So sports day in
Yeah.
Jamaica when
Yeah,
whatever.
man.
My mother,
Yeah,
my mother puts it in the suitcase, the little medal up on sports day and say, "Yo, listen, worst case scenario, you can run, you know." You see me? So me say,
yeah.
well, I mean, me not have nothing else. So when they say, when you go to the US, just don't be bad, just do what you have to do, and I still have trouble. So I was like, all right.
Yeah,
So me moved from this to New York City. Now New York City is like freezing cold, bro. Like so, I'm like track
yeah,
was never
bro.
like I got there in the middle of the winter. So I'm like me stay in the house the whole time until that summer, right? So it was this lady named Melosia Clark. She ran for Jamaica, right? She know my older brother,
Mm,
and she was like, "What you little brother there doing?" Like, still in the old days. So I was like,
yeah,
yeah, like she's like, bring him to the truck. So I go to the truck, bro. And like me, I was like, yo, there's some girl out there like me that the house lock up like is me at least for free. Like
yeah,
so a coach come up to me and was like, yo, no, Melosia was talking to me, like me at the sideline. I said, yo, them girl are like them slow, bro. Like she can't really
yeah.
like but me never do trucks. Me I say, oh, it's our sports day, me know me can beat them girl like that.
Easy, easy.
Yeah, easy. So she was like, well, put on the spikes and come run. So me said, all right, bet me do it. So I put on the spikes and just like did like a run with her and I actually beat her. And the coach was like, yo, listen, if you keep coming out here every day, me can get
Yeah,
it like 47 seconds. But me never understand what that mean because me never was
yeah,
struck. And
yeah.
from there,
So,
bro.
all right. So you jump from football go all the way to the 400. I never try to say let them. I go run the bills.
The man, like I think my high school coach was wicked, bro. Like it wasn't even the 400 this man put me in. This man put me in the 600. The 600 and 500 meter, the man have me a run indoor, bro. The first track I ever ran on was the
Yeah,
armory track. That's the first track meter track I ever ran track on. Isn't it?
yeah.
So
I heard
like,
about that. I've heard about that truck, but I've never like actually tried it. I heard about like its legacy and whatnot, but
yeah, it's okay. We nowadays the school we went to have a fast track. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
like,
everybody has a truck nowadays, bro.
yeah, nowadays it's
Yeah.
different. So I think
Yeah, so no, continue.
yeah, so the transition, like I said, straight to event wise, like I started off. He said I look like a natural 400 runner, right? So I
Yeah,
just because me don't know nothing about track, I didn't even look into other
yeah.
events. Me know me never fast like Bolt for run 100 and 200. So me say, I mean, me feel like me probably gonna try the 400. So he's like, for run the 400, you have to be strong. So you have to run like
Yeah,
up over events. So you have to run the 500 and 600. So indoor, I
yeah.
kept running the 600 over and over and over again, all like in high school, to the point where like when I
Bro,
dropped down, it
I
was
was never
over.
a fan of like I was never doing over distance as a quarter mile. I don't believe in it. I've heard it work personally, but I've also
Yeah.
never ran 44, so maybe that's my downfall. So I've never been a fan of that.
One of
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah, but yeah, fast forward a little bit into the story. So I
mhm.
think in what 2012 or 2013, you came back to Jamaica, right? And then you ran at Character Trial, was it, or World Juniors?
I think it was Carifta trials I ran at. Yeah,
Yeah,
Carifta trials. So the story behind that is basically like, all right. So when I went to the US, based on like the financial situation, I couldn't go back to Jamaica within like a 3 year span or 2 year span, right? So I was doing track all that time because like I said, like I just couldn't afford it, like to be honest, like
yeah,
So the time when I actually was able to afford it is because I end up being a freshman at South Plains, and when you do, you get like the money back.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tax
you get the
returns.
money back. Yeah, so you get the I guess what they call it. It's like the stipend thing you get back, right? So when I got the money back, I basically
Yeah.
paid for a ticket to go back home. So that's how I was able to go back to Jamaica. So I was
So
a
you're
freshman.
already in junior college.
Yeah, my first year junior college. I mean, they underage, so that's why I could have go back. Yeah,
Yeah. So you want the bright ones them.
yeah, a
They go
little
to
bit
school,
like
go college early.
yeah, bro. So so
Okay.
so it end up work out the way that what I mean. So
Yeah,
I back.
because I mean, I remember that trials. I think you came out in a full Adidas suit, and
Yeah,
naturally Jamaicans don't like outsiders. Honestly,
yeah,
not
bro.
telling a
Me
lie.
already know that
Yeah,
stuff.
so yeah, and then you came and you beat our athletes. I mean, what I mean, Jamaica,
Yeah,
but trade overseas, and you came and you beat us. Yeah, you kind of shock us, and we're wondering who's this man, who's
really.
this person, where you come from? This is me, who the brother. But I mean, Come to find out, you're not even run for the country. You just come win and go home. Like, what go on there? So,
So no, the funny thing I said, like I haven't been home in 3 years leading up to that point. So I haven't seen
yeah,
none of my family, my brother, my mom, anything. So pay for the ticket, go to the trials, win the trials, right? So when I go back now
yeah,
to Jamaica, my mom, like I said, we're heavy church people. She said she sit on TV in El Salvador. They're killing people. Da da da. You can't go. So I'm saying, so I was like, at that time, I was like so excited just to be back home. I was like, man,
yeah,
going. I never know the importance
yeah,
of like going to Caribbean and everything, but I didn't know. So I was
yeah.
like, well, I ain't going. Like, so I just stayed in the community and chill with my friends. Them like,
Just
I
ends
just have
up,
a blast, bro. Like, I have a blast.
bro, bro. Back then, bro, maybe no. Yo, make your national team was a junior. Bro,
Yeah,
that was that is the thing, bro. I remember like back then they had these like Puma bags and usually called like Nashi bags, bro. I would kill for one of those bags. Yeah, and if you ever get the bag, bro, or get the gear, bro, that was the perfect
yo, that's
national bag
great.
I ever seen from Jamaica, bro. Yeah, bro. So you
Nah,
kinda give away your opportunity there, man. I tell
yeah,
you
I
no
did
like.
not know, bro.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
but I was late
yeah.
to the
So how was
game.
your
Yeah,
yeah, true. So how was your first year at South Plains?
bro. So that's when the real track reality like really hits. So when I was in New York, New York City, I run 47.5. I was the man, New York State champion, all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
And I was like, hey, I'm the fastest guy in New York City, but I remembered this when I got access to to look up times on T-Fers and stuff like that. Like, you can look up times.
yeah,
I stat back in the day. So I looked on it and I kept seeing names from different states. I was like, wow, it's people out here running 46, 45.
yeah,
And nationals, I end up like meeting a guy named Armin Hall, Gino, and then like Najee Glass and them guys, and they was like
yeah, yeah,
running
yeah, yeah,
super fast, bro. So I was like, yo, this is
yeah,
crazy. I
bro.
gotta get on that level. So when I got to South Plains, I was like, all right, 47.5. I think I'm not gonna hold my own. I didn't know Vernon was there. I didn't know like
Who?
half of these
Vernon?
like guys, Vernon Norwood. So Vernon
Oh
Norwood
yeah,
was
yeah,
there. I think this other night, Chavez Hart was, may he rest in peace, he was there, and all these other guys are sprinters. So, bro, the first week of practice, bro, I couldn't finish nothing, bro. Like I was getting destroyed in every workout. I was running. I was the slowest guy on that team, bro. Crazy enough, I was.
Chacha.
I didn't make the 4x4 team until outdoor nationals. The last. That's the only team I could have made because I was running. Because the sprinters was running faster than me. They was all running 46 and better. Vernon and them was running
Yeah,
45. And my 47 didn't like I was just a number at one point, bro.
yeah. Vernon. I mean, shouts out to Vernon, bro. He's like what, probably like 32 right now,
Yeah,
running low 44 consistently, bro. So he's clearly a workhorse, bro, and it shows, bro.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is a beat.
Did you go to South Plains when Odin Skeen was there
Yeah.
or no?
Ski was like the room
Yeah.
over. Yeah. Ski was
Okay.
one room over
Yeah.
from talented
Yeah.
individual.
Yeah. Did you get to know him?
Yeah, like me. So I met. So this is why I know I missed out on the Carifta days. Scheme came to my room with the bag on. So I said, "Yo, where get the bag
Yeah.
on from?" He was like, "Yeah, man, World Juniors Carifta." I said, "Bro, it's like that." He's like, "Yeah." So he broke
Yeah,
down the
bro.
whole experience to me, bro. I'm
The
like, "Yeah,
whole
man."
thing. Yeah, bro. Miss out completely, bro. Completely, bro. Yeah. I mean, speaking of South Plains, going back a little bit again,
Mhm.
Fred Curley, were you also on the team with Fred Curley? Was that one of the reasons you couldn't make the team?
Bruh, so Fred was my senior year. So this is the crazy
Mm,
part, right? That's the first year when I was a freshman, you had like I was Vernon, Braylon Taplin, and all these guys, right? Then my
yeah.
senior year now, like I ran as a freshman, I ran the 46 flat, whatever, right? So because that's the time I came back to Jamaica, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
now
Yeah.
the next year, Fred came in and Jareem came in. So Jareem Richards and Fred,
Richard?
yeah. And then they end up being Jareem was my roommate and Fred was the other suite
Mm,
mate with Steen. So it was all of us.
superstars.
It was all of us together, bro. And the crazy thing happened. Fred was the slowest one on the team. Because
Mm,
everybody Fred would come in running like 46.9 or something like that. And
Yeah, but
we
that
was
was still
all
fast back then,
it
bro.
was fast, but
That was
everybody
still
else was
fast.
running 46 so it's like you ain't gonna make the
I
team, you
know,
know what I mean?
bro.
So
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like Fred was battling to make that team, bro, and like he if eventually did. And from that
yeah,
man, yo, one thing I say I respect with the youth, the man used to come every day and say, yo, I'm the world's greatest. Man, I run 43 seconds. That's how he was, and that's how he is to this day.
yeah.
Yes.
So that's not a facade. That's who he is actually.
That's who he is. He's not even acting. That's just legit how he is, bro. He was running 48, having the fastest, no, the slowest split, and saying,
Yeah,
"Yo, I'm gonna run 43 tomorrow."
I'm the
That's
best.
how he was, bro. That's how he was.
I
Yeah,
mean,
bro.
being around all those athletes, you had no choice but to be great, honestly, bro.
Yeah,
Because Vernon, Jerry Richards, Fred Curley, all medalists at the World Olympic stage, bro. Honestly, like,
yeah, man.
hats
Crazy.
off to you, cause yeah, that's a super super team. So did you
I
guys ever
told you
win
to go.
nationals?
So again,
Did you guys ever win nationals?
we won two. Yeah, we won two back to back. JUCO nationals. Yeah, so
Yeah,
we win every. We was winning for 6 years straight, bro. We never lose our JUCO nationals all the way up until I think probably a few years after that we left, and then it died down 1 year, two
it
years.
just went down. Yeah, because I mean, when I got to Iowa Central was a team. Because I've
Yeah.
never lost at Iowa Central. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so I've heard about the greats, but when I was
Okay.
at Iowa Central, I didn't know who these people were. You know what I mean? Yeah,
JUCO
yeah. So
system.
you did repeat,
I said the JUCO system produce a lot of good athletes, man. So you know what I mean. That's just how
bro.
it goes.
Dogs, bro. Dogs, bro. Dogs, bro. I recommend Juco, but a lot of man, they don't really
You
like
know,
Juco,
also,
bro. Yeah, I know. Alright, I feel like say this is what I feel about Juco. I feel like say Juco is a thing where like, is if I go like a town school or you're pampered and you're
mhm,
fast but you don't have the grades, go
yeah,
Juco.
yeah,
Yeah, go Juco. Go Juco, bro. Because Juco, rough. It
yeah,
rough. Yeah, it rough, man. And it forces you to grow up, you know, I tell no lie.
yeah. That's
It
true.
forces you to grow up, bro. Yeah, bro.
I'd
Yeah.
recommend I'll recommend JUCO in that case. Like I feel like as far as opportunity for to come to the US and get an education, especially like I
Yeah.
said, you get to the tone school, like some man at Jamaica just don't have the grades to go straight D1. Yeah, go JUCO for
Yeah,
two
bro.
years and do what you have to do and live for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the stereotype attached to junior college still, bro. It kind of frowned upon, man, not lie, but I'm
Yeah.
a fan of Juka, isn't me? Went
Yeah.
through the system. Yeah. You have athletes just like Fred Curley, yourself, myself. Veronica Campbell, come on, bro. The list goes on and
Yeah.
on.
But
Yeah,
it's a
bro.
lot. It's Tyson Gay, bro. A whole heap of people, bro. A whole heap
Thanks to give it Juka?
Yeah, yeah. Tyson Gay is a JUCO one, bro. Yeah, oh crazy. A whole heap of stars,
So,
bro.
all right. So you left from South Plains and then you went to D1.
Mhm.
You eventually signed to Alabama, but did you have any other offers?
So the first school that recruited me was Texas Tech. They had reached out, but Texas Tech was like right up the street, so me just didn't want to leave the whole
Yeah,
area.
without
Bro.
them.
Like, they want to know we're close to my Duca, bro. Like, so I'm like, nah, let me that leave. That was like, we just go for the visit, cause like in Juco, the visit is like a vacation, bro. Like, you see me, you
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
the
bro.
weekend there. Like, what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, Texas Tech, University of Florida, I think I'd reached out, really wanted me to sign with them in Arkansas. So all the
So why not
SEC,
A&M?
and
Why not A&M?
I think I didn't go to A&M more so because like everybody where I went to school with wanted to go to A&M. And like I
Mm,
was like, nah, bro, like you feel like I want to be like at a school where I'm gonna have like attention versus being a part of
yeah,
like big
just a
championship team.
number.
That's not my thing. I don't really
Yeah,
care for like the champion. Individually, I want to be able to be like really good. So that's probably the
yeah,
only reason why I didn't go to A&M, you know? So
yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
get it. I
pretty much
get it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how
bro.
was the
Like so,
Alabama experience?
bro, to be honest, I never even watched football at the end of my life. So when we go there, it was like, okay, this is like a big football school for real. Like, I mean, even they go on a visit.
Bama.
Bro, I
Eh?
didn't visit Mama, bro. I just signed based on the coach. The coach, I met
Who
the
was the
coach
coach?
right. So at that time, it was Coach Matt Kane, which was like he was coaching a bunch of like sprinters and whatever. He coached like some good 400 runners that like I know like Tabari Henry and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like, yo, like I like Tabari Henry. He went to A&M though, but I just realized that was his coach before. So I was like, all right,
yeah,
like I see what this guy do, and I know like technical wise when it comes to speed, I just didn't have that because I used to do so much over distance stuff. I probably just need to change because speed built coach, and it worked out perfectly. As soon as I went there, I started running fast.
So kind of go back a little bit. So at South Plains, it was also like over distance training.
Yeah, it was no technical thing. We didn't have time because there was so much people on that team, bro. We couldn't target
Mm,
like specific speed work and all them stuff that we just didn't have the time to do it. So like our training used to be like around the lakes, 800, like with Christian Garden. Christian used to kill she used to beat all the boy them. Like Fred used to get
Christian
beat by
strong man,
her
bro.
all the time, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man. Christian strong man. Christian
Serious, bro.
strong.
He was serious, bro. So that's how Soul Plains was like over distance and like my bro, it was a lot of over distance, bro. So that's
Yeah.
it. Crazy.
So at Alabama, what was that first year like at Alabama? Because I think also, what Dream was in your first year or your second year? Dream
It was
came.
my second year.
Okay, so
So
your
it
first
was just
year.
me alone my first year. First year, it was like nobody, it was nobody on the team, bro. Like we had like two people, one or two people, but they wasn't like we had Ramona Burchell. So Ramona was like the only good one. Me and
Ramona,
her would yeah, Ramona was my teammate. Like that's the only
I
Jamaican
know.
that knew where they did it with me. So like the team
I
wasn't
know that
like
one
a
there.
top tier team, like you know what I mean, like as far as championship and whatever. So it would be me and Ramona going to like indoor nationals, outdoor nationals, and stuff like that. But it was different, bro. I'm not lie to you. It was a fun school, but that
Yeah,
environment was just so different. We can't really to explain it. It was very. It was a college town. That's it. It was a college town, bro. Like
yeah.
the
So
typical boss. Mm.
so coming from junior college to then going straight to the SEC, because SEC is the conference apparently. Let's
Bro,
apparently.
parents, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Listen, man, that transition was another challenge again because that's the thing. Like SEC at that time was another level of competition, bro. Like you had like I said, you had Vernon, you had Dion Lindor, and these dudes was running like
yeah.
44 mids
Man time.
every
Yeah,
every track meet, bro. They were running like some crazy stuff. 4x4 was insane. So it's like I'm like a 400 runner now, just coming out of JUCO. I'm like, all right, bro. Like I know what I can like do. So I'm gonna
yeah,
try as much as possible to like get into that like level and realm and stuff like that. So that was like a challenge in itself, man. But the competition do push you to run faster. Like
yeah, bro.
that's what I like with it. You know?
I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of, how the SEC competes where, I mean, I guess that's kind of how like the professional ranks is, where it's like you're competing at a high level every
Yeah,
single weekend, bro. Like that
you wanna
is
get
a
your
no-no
break.
for me.
You
Yeah,
can't.
bro. Like, yeah. So how was like, your recovery, you know, going into like from one meet to a next meet? How was that?
Bro, I would say this. I think that's why I tell people when it comes to finding a coach in the SEC, make sure you find a coach who actually cares about you. Because if not, you'll be running every weekend back to back. And my coach, honestly, like both my coach used to be like,
Yeah,
all right, how you feel this weekend? Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to, you can run a 200. You don't even have to run
yeah,
like, you don't have to run a 4. You don't even have to run, you can run a 200 and run a 4x4. And you feel me? And like when I talk to people when it comes to coach, like if your coach can't say how you feel and ask you those type of
yeah,
questions, you feel like you should consider like, hey bro, this is not the right person for you because they don't care about how you feel. They just want you to perform every time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
True.
coming from the Jucut realm to that and being able to have the nutrition, the food, like everything was so pampered, bro. And I'm like, me come to school and me see the man and we are get them treatment here run slow. Me say me can't run slow no more, bro. No
Can't
way.
run slow, bro.
Because have all this access, bro. Gears. Me can train, bro. Me was literally changing like shoes every like week,
Oh
like
yeah,
that's how crazy it
oh yeah,
was. So I'm
yeah,
like,
bro.
yeah, man, like couldn't feel, bro.
Yeah.
Couldn't feel.
So all right, if you had to sum up your first year, in the SEC? How was it for you?
Wow, what a question. I would say the first year in the SEC was an eye opener to realize that I actually finished fourth in the SEC, but I am
Mhm.
now number like three in my country. So I was like, wow, like that. I got pushed as far as competition so much to the point where I'm top three in my country. Like I never even
Yeah,
imagined that. Like you know what I mean? So I was like,
yeah.
yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. You know what I mean? And that's when I got hurt.
You got hurt?
I got hurt after my first year at Bama. So after I went to nationals and I got back from nationals,
Mm.
I basically like broke a ligament in my toe. So I set out a whole entire year and stuff like that. So I got
Cha,
hurt
cha.
the year before Olympics. You know what I mean? Bro. So Olympics
Yeah,
SEC championship was at my school and I was on crutches and just watching the whole Olympics and everything, bro. And I was so disappointed because I'm like the slowest time that made the team to go to the Olympics was like 45.7. And at that time I was already running
yeah,
3. So I was just like,
yeah.
this is what it is, track
Shalom,
and
bro.
field, bro.
Yeah,
Track
yeah,
and field.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That
I
first year
mean
was
that.
just like it's bittersweet, like you know what I mean. That's what
Yeah.
that's you know what I mean. So crazy.
So how long did it take you to recover to come back for your final season?
I would say I would say this, and this when the realistic thing came in. Like it took me an entire year, right? And that's why like
Senior
I
year?
it took me a whole entire year. Like I took off all of 2016. I didn't run. So 2015 when I got there and at my first year.
Yeah.
16 I sat out the entire year and didn't run at all. Didn't do anything
Cha, cha.
like that. That's the part where I'm like bringing when it comes to I think that needed to happen for me to see a lifestyle outside of track and field. So I was going to
Yeah.
class, regular students and things like that. My GPA at 4.0. Cause I have
Yeah.
so much time on my hand, bro. Like no training, no nothing. But wake up in the morning like,
Yeah.
foot bro, we can't go training. All right, what am I gonna do now? You know what? We can do an extra work, extra credit assignment and whatever.
Yeah.
That's when I actually like started taking school and education more seriously because I got hurt for a year. So I had no choice
Yeah.
but to focus on academics and realize, okay, maybe this degree that the school is giving me doesn't make sense. Maybe I need to get a certification or ask for this or ask for these things. And that's one thing that I say that helped me that whole entire year, being like,
So in terms of like your scholarship, did
mm,
anything change in terms of like, did you get, because I heard that in SEC you guys signed like a yearly contract or something like that.
yeah, the
Is
yearly
that
contract.
is that
It's
yeah.
true. It's true. So when I got hurt, the coach was like, and at that time, I'm the only one that, as far as the 400 group, that made it to nationals. So like,
Mhm.
I'm a star for them. I gave them all these points and all these things. They're like, yo, bro, like, I'm gonna give you a medical red shirt so you can do your whole entire year, but we're not sure about signing you back the next year. And I was like,
Mm,
all right, cool. At least you get me to finish my education. Cool. So I wasn't
yeah.
guaranteed a scholarship for the if I decided to come back to run because based on what the doctor
Yeah.
tells him, he's like he's a lost cause. Like he I don't see people coming back from breaking like that ligament in a toe to run.
Yeah.
My coach is like my coach wanted me to run still, but like my head coach was like, bro, you're done, bro. Like you just need to just chill. Like it is what it is. And I
Cha-cha.
started believing that too, bro. I started lining up in like me start going to like internships, me start lining up jobs,
Eh,
everything like that. I'm
real
like,
world.
run, bro, like real world. I'm like, yeah, like based on what the doctor say, you're not gonna be able to run. So I'm like, all right, cool, real world it is, and stuff like that. So stayed,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. So I
I
stayed
mean,
all the way until yeah, so basically I was staying that whole time, like, like in school and whatever, like that whole 2016 Olympic year.
yeah.
When it got to, I guess, the next year, I was going to take on an extra class to get a certification, or I could just leave and go straight to being like, the real estate like firm and stuff like that and go from there.
Yeah.
Came back from Olympics and he's like, wait, Stevie boy, you about to leave me here? And I was like, he's like, nah, bro, stay, run, stay. And I was like, bro, nah, bro, I'm about to go, man. I'm, pop my bag and everything. And he was like, all right, listen, bro, I know you. because I just took my crutches off, right? So he said, I know
Yeah,
you ain't run in a while, but listen, like I'm training going up to the Olympics and stuff. Can you come out there with me and like just like just do a run 1 or 2 time, bro? I
yeah,
started running back, and when I was running, I was like, damn, I can't. I'm running 26. Feel like I'm about to die. We just doing
die.
200s, bro, and I couldn't
Yeah,
handle anything. Like I just felt disappointed, and he was like, "Bro, just keep coming." So Jareem kept bringing me out to practice it with him every day.
yeah,
I started like catching myself back, like my foot wasn't hurting.
yeah. That fire.
Yeah, like it's this start. I'm like, okay, like I might not be as hurt as I think I am. Like I might be good. And he's like, nah, boy,
Yeah,
just keep coming out, bro. Keep coming. To the point where like
yeah,
the coach just started seeing me out there. They was like, I thought you left, and I was like, nah, I stayed. Cause what I did, I didn't. I gave Jareem my lease, so my lease
yeah.
is up, and I got to leave to go like work. And he was like, nah,
Oh, so
just
you
stay.
were like
I was
you were
done.
really like done.
I was done, bro. I was completely done. So he said just stay by him, even though like I had a lease, and just keep training. And then once you
Yeah,
train, if you feel better, whatever. Because I had no scholarship, like the scholarship was gone already. So like
yeah,
that's how the semesters work. So like from that August all the way up to the December,
yeah,
the new year start. You people come in sometime on the January, February, whatever time
yeah,
span.
yeah, yeah,
So he was like, yeah, bro, just train and see, bro. After I did all that, bro, I was like, you know what, bro, Dream, like, everything good and whatever, I'm about to just leave, bro. He was like, all right, bet, like, pop my box, ready to go, everything, right? The ticket booked,
Mm,
the ticket was booked for, like, January, like, the 12th, right? And I'm sitting there, bro, like, I'm ready to go, having the last turn up before I go. And the coach called me the night before I left. I don't know if he knew if I was, like, about to leave. He's like, hey, Steven,
yeah.
like, I see you've been practicing and doing your thing. How would you like to get your scholarship back
Mm.
to you? Yeah, bro. Right before the night before I left, he said that to me, and that's how I end up coming back and run for Alabama, bro.
Boy, that sound like a sure thing, bro. Like
Crazy.
a movie, bro. That sound like a straight movie, dog. I mean, bro, we can call it divine intervention, God, or whatever, but that was a blessing in
Yeah,
a disguise, bro. Because you come back your last year and you became a man, honestly, bro. You
yeah,
got faster. I think your PR in the 200 was 20.43 or
yeah,
4, something. Yeah, 20.4. And then after the PR, I guess you gained some confidence because then you
yeah,
start running. You ran 44.93, I think it was.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Boy, what's the name of the coach?
So Coach Wiley, my JUCO coach, ended up being my coach my last year. So my JUCO coach ended up getting the job my last year at Alabama, bro.
Look at God, man. Look at God, man. Perfect timing, bro.
Yeah,
Perfect
perfect.
timing. So how was that? We know all the times and whatnot, but how was the your last year at Alabama?
Last year, bro, I was. You know what? That's what I think. When you have a good teammate with you and a person that's pushing you,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so much more helpful. You know what I mean? And I remember
yeah,
like when I got back and I was like, "Yo, me and Jerry won't get a room together," like because we mesh off of each other. And I told this man, I said, "Yo, listen, what's the goal we're gonna set before?" He's like, "Yo, this year we only having 2 parties for the whole year. Just two big one, and that's it. We ain't going
Wait,
out."
hold on. Hold on. Were you guys keeping these parties?
Yeah, we host parties,
Or
bro.
just
We host.
eh,
Yeah, we do host party,
man,
like you know what I mean.
yeah, I
So
was living life.
yeah, 2 parties for the entire year, but
Yeah.
everything is gonna be focused. We don't drink. We didn't drink at all. Like we
Mm,
was like actually like focused. Like yo, I said, bro,
locked in.
locked in. He's like on his wall he has I'm gonna run 19 seconds, and on my wall I'm gonna run 44 seconds, right? But I was always
Yeah,
messing with him. I always put 44 underneath his 19. Like, hey, bro, you can run that 44
yeah,
too. Like, you know what I mean? Because he
yeah,
doesn't like
yeah,
to move.
yeah.
That
Mm,
was the last year. Like, yo, he's like, yo, this is what we're gonna do. And so said, so done, bro. It was just like that's exactly what we did. You know what I mean?
yeah, both of y'all had like
Yeah, crazy.
incredible years because I think what Jeremy did get that bronze that year
Year,
at World
yep.
Champs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then let's talk about your trial experience because you didn't get the 2016 experience. But let's
Experience.
go into 2017. What was that year like? The competition.
So as far as for Jamaica, right? This is
Mhm.
when I think a lot of things change as far as how track was being fun in college and this having all the facilities to you, like, what I mean, like accessible, right? So when I made that transition, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna go back home because I missed 2016 Olympics when I was hurt. I'm like, let's go
Yeah.
back home and make this team, like by any means necessary. No, this is when the agents start coming in. This is when you start getting called by these shoe companies and people trying to sign in, whatever it may be, right? So I was like, all right, well, let's see. Like I just gotta make the team. So now the pressure is on now. So I remember an agent come up to me and was like, just being realistic with you, if you're not top three
Yeah.
in Jamaica, you're not getting a contract. So it
Mm,
was like, and I was like, he said, look, we don't care how fast you run. If you're not top three, you can't get no money. Like, that's just how it works. So, no, I'm
yeah.
going to Jamaica trials, like, bro, like,
I
I mean, I have
worry.
to be top three. Like, it was like, me have to be top three. Bro, this was the first Jamaica trials that I went to, and I'd even, like, tell my mom them to come up, like, any days. I say, yo, come from Clarendon, like, the final. The day of the final, I want you to come from
Bro,
Clarendon. We don't want to see you,
let me
no, we
let me
don't want
tell
to
you. Let me tell you a personal story, bro. Me no invite nobody to no trials and me I go. Me no give a damn. Bro, the only trials I had someone that came was 2023 because I went in with the mindset like, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, honestly, bro. I personally don't like having even like my parents at track meets. My parents only saw me run like twice in Jamaica, bro. I promise you, bro. So I can feel that right here, bro. Like,
Yeah, bro. I was
don't
like,
come.
nah,
Yeah,
don't come, do not come, bro.
yeah, bro.
The last days. Got to Jamaica trials with that pressure, like, yeah, like if you don't run fast, you ain't gonna get a contract. And I was like, wow, like this is what I was like working up to at this point. And this point, like Jareem already did because like we wrote it. I said we had the contract thing. We run 20 point. You were 19 and I run 44, and we're gonna get a contract and go
Yeah,
from there to be professionals. So Jareem took care of
yeah,
business. So it's on me now, right? So
yeah,
now I'm in Jamaica and like I said, like people don't know that I'm Jamaican. Like they don't know where me come from, me and they don't know nothing about me, right? So
yeah,
no, I'm like I'm at trials, I'm sitting outside and warming up. Everybody I look like, yo, you're foreign boy, or like, you know what I mean? Like I'm a
yeah,
stranger to like, I'm like, me understand when I say the brother, I'm like, me have yard man, right? But I don't
yeah,
talk.
yeah.
They don't know. So me hear them in the background and talk. I say, yo, who are you, cha? Who this man or whatever. But I didn't care. Like I was like, yo, listen, the goal is to make this
Business.
team, and I'm
Yeah,
just here to do that regardless of what happened, bro. And everything went like well, man. Like the last, I think I made that team with the last 100 meter was like, yo, I'm just like, nah, me can't, me have to make it, bro. I almost jump across the line this
yeah.
top tree, bro. Like, literally, bro.
The
Like, so,
goatee.
yeah, bro. Like, so I think I ran like 45 flat or something like that to make the team. So
Who won trials that year?
Nathan Allen, it was Nathan Allen, and then yeah,
Pandemic.
Ian Demish, Nathan.
Remember
Yeah,
the race there? I remember that race. Yeah,
yeah, bro.
that was a
That was
smooth
Nathan
race.
Allen. That was a great
Yeah,
race, bro. I was like,
yeah,
once I see them from the side, I say, you know what, me now catch them too there. But the third
yeah,
place is still there. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So yeah, bro, that was it.
yeah, man.
Crazy.
And then you got the third place. And then,
Mhm.
I mean, did you sign after trials or was it after
I
the World
signed
Championship?
after trials. So after trials is when like everything like set up, and I was like, yeah. Um, Puma was like, yeah, you can run in the world championship with the Puma shoes on and all that stuff. So everything like got situated right after that, and went from
Yeah.
there to the world championship and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So did you want Puma or was it just the more lucrative shoe company?
So at the time, my agent at the time, as I was speaking to me about this, like, and that's why I say like people need to educate themselves. With me, like, I'm reading the contract. I can read through all the contract myself as far as
Yeah,
deduction clauses, all that stuff. So like I'm in college breaking this down, and like I have people in my family that could also break it down for me too. So when I
yeah,
looked at it, I got two contracts that got presented to me. At this point, Nike was trying to do a thing where they was trying to like capitalize on a lot of Caribbean athletes, trying to get into the Puma market, right? So I
Mhm.
seen I got a Nike contract that was on my table that I was like, all right, cool. Like this was a little bit more than the Puma one. However, it comes with a lot of stipulation and deduction clauses that a lot of athletes don't talk about. Like these deduction
Mhm.
clauses is that's why we talk about like that's why we minus that 15%. We'll take 15% of your contract if you don't make a team every year. We'll take 25 if you don't run a specific time. So that Nike contract had like 10 deduction clauses versus the Puma one that has 5. But we pay you more
Yeah.
money. We gonna need you to you know what I mean? We gonna need you to
Yeah.
perform
Yeah.
every single time. So the pressure is on instantly.
So all right, you don't think you could have handled the pressure?
No, this is the thing. My mindset was like, yo, like if this is what they want me to do, and I'm not thinking that I would ever like get hurt. I'm not thinking like anything would
Yeah.
happen. My mindset is like, okay, all right, them give me all the deduction clauses. All right, I'm gonna run better, and you have to give me more money. Like that's the mindset I have.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking anything outside of that. There's no
Yeah.
insurance. It's no health care. It's no
There's no
nothing.
insurance, no healthcare.
No insurance, no health care. Basically, they give you like the contract was like one of them. Yeah, it was so bad, bro. It was so like they give you like a local travel stipend, but the Puma one was
Yeah.
better. Like, you know what I mean? The Nike one was like,
Yeah.
we give you $200 in travel stipend. Where mega travel in
No,
the
bro.
world go run with two hundred
Not even
dollars,
gas money. Not even gas money, bro.
bro?
Not
It
even
was
gas money,
it
bro.
was insane. So that's how I end
Yeah,
up
bro.
going with the Puma instead of
Yeah.
Nike. Yeah,
I mean, when you think of Puma, you think of Jamaica. So, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it is what it is, honestly.
yeah.
But then, you went on to, the World Championship in London
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
you ran the flat 400.
mm-hmm. Did.
But, bro, what was going on?
Hey, bro, listen, man, listen. People don't realize how tired these athletes are after NCAA
Collegiate.
season. Oh my gosh, like and especially if you go to one of them relay schools or SEC schools, and that's one of the downside I think with the
Yeah.
SEC, like leaving, doing all those relays, and
Yeah.
then go, bro. I was 52 races in before I went to World Championship, right? And
Shasha.
when I got there, bro, I didn't run in between. I was just training in
Mm.
between. So I probably should have got a run or two in between or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anything going. I just went straight there and ran and whatever. And bro, first, like I said, this is my first major championship. I
Yeah.
never I never like seen a crowd like that before. I never like
Yeah.
been on a team where like you walk out of the hotel, people are look on you, people asking for
Yeah.
autographs and all that. Right, my heart was
Yeah.
like beating crazy, like you know what I mean. So, bro, that was so nerve wracking for me, bro. Like to the point where like I said, like I was like, "Damn, I made it. This is what I asked for, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
My race, it was so hard. It was horrible, bro. It was bad. It was the worst race ever.
I
Worst
mean,
race ever.
even that year, I think also Fred Curley was going on as the favorite, but he was
Mhm.
like some 40 something races deep, bro, and he
He
did
lost.
horrible also. Yeah, bro. Oh, bro, and them cloning, bro, them vertically clone him and oh yeah, dog, but them not know, dog.
That's what I
Because I
meant
think
to
that year,
say. Go ahead. He said that year what?
I think that year he didn't lose any races, bro, indoor and outdoor, bro. He was dominant, bro,
Not
dominant.
one. Not one. That's when
Yeah,
I was
bro.
saying that I actually met the true Jamaican track fans. Like that world championship, bro. I'll never forget, bro.
Yeah,
Got off the track, went back to the tent, talked to my coach and whatever. I was like down disappointed. And when I got back,
yeah,
I went on Facebook. When I go on Facebook, bro, the first message I see on Facebook will say, I want to them Brambley and them bring go a world championship go run for Jamaica. Who are you with your Stephen Gale? And it was a bunch of us
bro.
bashing of Stephen Gale, bro. And I was like, wow, like
Bro.
to tell you that I did all this to represent a country where like my family and everybody lives and I'm from and I love so much to be
Yeah,
honest, really. And them like treat me like that, you know what I mean? And I get it. I understand it. This is a part of the game. This is a part of the game. So
bro, it's real because like even Roshi McNair, bro, I spoke to him in 2021 about it. And I think I did me also talk to Nathan about it. And the man said, bro, don't go in enough Facebook group when them talk about the track and field. Man say when it come on to season, just don't look on it, bro. Because if you
Yeah,
internalize it, bro, you will kill yourself, bro. Because
yeah.
them harsh, bro. Them harsh, bro.
Harsh,
Harsh, bro.
harsh. One of the toughest track fun
Yeah,
thing out there, for sure.
bro. But we understand still because our sport, isn't it?
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
make it based on us. You know what I mean? So it's just it is what it is. It kind of come with the game.
yeah. Nah, I
You know what I
understand.
mean?
And completely,
Yeah,
bro. So,
bro.
yeah,
But
man.
yeah, you left for a championship. Do you compete the rest of the season?
After all the championship, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm chilling, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even want to, because I think the last track meet that they was trying to get me into the Diamond League at the end of the year, the one where you make
Mm.
most of the money. To be honest, that's the one I was supposed to get. I
Mm.
got into like lane 9, somewhere in
Ooh.
Barcelona. Oh wow! Oh,
Yeah.
edit the part out. Somewhere in Barcelona, right? I got into a Diamond League. I was like, yo, I have to get on a plane and fly like a couple hours to go run
Was
2 days before. I was like, nah, my body
yeah,
just
bro.
wasn't gonna happen.
Tired.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
it's too
bro.
tight. So that
Yeah.
was it.
So all right. So you come in your first year being professional. I guess you consider it 2018. We wouldn't even say 2017 because 2017
Yeah,
you were fresh
26.
out of college. You know what I mean? So 2018, were you still training at Alabama?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Was Jerry Richards still there or no?
yeah, Jerry was still there. Jerry was still with me there my first year, our first year being pro and stuff like that. It was I would say the first year being pro was actually the most difficult year, and it is for a lot of athletes. That first year
Yeah.
you have to be able to transition mentally from being a college athlete to a professional track athlete. And what that
Yeah.
professionalism entails is so much more difficult than you would actually think, especially if you're
Yeah.
not a premier athlete that has access to facilities, healthcare, money, and all that stuff. It's so much more
Yeah.
effort have to be putting out to be a real professional athlete. You know what I mean? So that was
Yeah.
a tough transition for me, bro.
Yeah. To be a top tier athlete, you need the funds,
Yeah,
bro. You
you
need the
definitely.
support. Yeah.
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 So
I
the
mean, luckily
support,
there.
I said, the support part of it is really what can make and change an athlete. I think
Oh yeah.
if a lot of athletes, like I've seen a lot of talented athletes out there right now, is just they keep asking for the same thing, which is support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that support doesn't necessarily have to be money some of the time. That support could
Yeah.
be just talk to me. Just check if me okay, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because a lot of athletes, they're so prideful, they don't even talk to people, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
the mindset like, yo, I'm on the grind, like I'm trying to get, I'm trying to run this time, I'm trying to jump this. They stop talking to people, they kind of like isolate themselves, and
Yeah.
that's actually a form of depression, to be honest. And I did it.
You think?
It
Yeah.
is like isolation is a form of a depression.
Depression?
Hmm.
That's an interesting point of view, honestly, man. I'm not
Yeah,
telling a lie because I am a fan. I mean, maybe it is depression because I'm a fan of isolation. Like if something isn't going right in my life,
you isolate
bro,
yourself. Yeah.
I'm gonna close the door. Yeah, bro. Because I feel like that's the best way to like think about it. If I'm just focused on this one thing, I can. It's
Hmm.
like if you have like a nut. If I can
Yeah.
just put all my effort into this nut, it will eventually untie. That's kind of how I see isolation. But
Hmm.
maybe, yeah,
Yeah, like
maybe,
it's interesting, so a lot of athletes do that, and I remember, like I said, like that first year drove me to the point where like I stopped reaching out to people, I stopped talking to people. That high from college is not there anymore. You're now
mm-mm,
up into a state where you're just a regular athlete again. Like you're not a
yeah,
superstar anymore. Yeah, you might have some clout coming out of college, but no, you in a
yeah,
realm where you're against the world, and the world don't
yeah,
care when it comes to track and field. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. They don't care. They
That's it.
do not care. Yeah, bro. I mean, the thing about 2018 was it was a interesting year because it wasn't necessarily any major championships.
Yeah.
So, how was that year for you in terms of like your competition and your contract obligations?
So that year, my only goal was like, all right, well, it's no major championship, but I still want to improve and see if I can hit these bonuses and hit these time marks that I have, right?
Yeah,
So I didn't have my contract didn't get reduced or anything, so I was like, good. However, my indoor season started off so bad because I went to World Indoors, right? Went to World Indoors.
Mm,
I did, yeah. So World Indoors Championship is where I went. I think the first championship after World Indoors.
that's Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I was in Birmingham. So I went to World Indoors. I did horrible, right? So every time I go to a major championship outside of college, like I'm doing bad, and I'm running against these guys that like I was like top three,
Seasoned vet.
top four. Yeah. So it's like, I'm like, I mean, I know I can run faster. Like, what's not like clicking? Like, you know what I mean? It was nothing mental because I work hard, bro. Like, if you meet somebody who know me, like, would train with me, them like, them know say, oh, I'm not afraid of hard practice. Like, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, it just wasn't getting together, like, body wise. Like, I don't know what was going on that season. So, I end up making a change from Alabama. I left Alabama first before Jareem, and then I end up going a coach in Florida, which was the worst decision ever.
Why?
Worst decision ever, bro. Just because like this is the thing when you move from coaches to coaches. So changing coaches in the professional realm is difficult, right? And that's the thing. Like, make sure like any athlete who's gonna be watching this, make sure when you do change and find a coach out there in the professional realm, make sure they have your best interest at hand, and make sure
Yeah.
they have a record of proving that they can produce coach, like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
some of these
Jamaican
coaches are
coach.
not, they're not good at like you if you historically, like, some of these coaches just hold on to the coattail of another coach, like, hey, he had this athlete that's a superstar athlete, and they probably run fast anywhere, to be honest, like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean,
Yeah.
like, if we're being realistic, like, say for example, maybe only Glenn Mills could have got Bolt to where he was probably got him to that
You
that
think
that
so?
no, but that's the thing, maybe anybody could have got Bolt to that, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
because he's just a
Yeah.
one in a generation athlete. Like, some of these athletes are
Yeah.
like, it's like it doesn't matter where they go, they're gonna run fast.
Yeah.
The only thing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
coaches can do is just maintain like that,
Fine
like,
too.
you know what I mean, fine tune that car, bro. So I think
Yeah.
lots of people need to do more research when they like change coaches in the professional realm, and make sure you're finding
Yeah.
a person who has the best interest at hand.
I mean, not even just in the professional realm, just any coach
Yeah,
period. It could have be, I
true.
mean, high school don't really have much attention, you know what I mean? But like, college, yeah, yeah. You need to make sure that the coach can coach and
Yeah,
it's a good coach, you know what I mean? Yeah, because that's very important.
yeah, and
Yeah.
go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, so no, man, good man. So fast forward 2018 season, you just kind of, went into a new program.
Mhm.
I guess it sounded like it wasn't the best decision, but
Yeah,
I'm assuming you stuck with that decision into the
yes.
2019 season.
So 2019 season, I made a transition, switch coach, right? No,
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of like blaming coach for my results, right? And I think everyone else does that, but me in this situation.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
because with me, like I said, it doesn't matter where I go, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna do exactly because I'm a very disciplined athlete, and I listen to everything our coach asks me to do, and I do it. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm not rebellious. I don't come to practice with a bad attitude. You know what I mean? I just do what I
yeah.
have to. So it's one of them situations where I did everything like the coach asked me to do, and it wasn't happening. Now you have
Mm,
contract stipulations. You don't know where that go. Like, you're not in college anymore. If you don't run
yeah.
this time, if you don't, and I think in my contract at that time, if I don't run better than 45-2 every year, then outdoor
Mm,
you get reduced. So
yeah, sure.
I ran 45-5 or 6. We don't care.
Yeah.
Reduce, right? So this from the time that I went pro from 2017 all the way up, I was getting reduced every year. I didn't perform the way I was supposed to.
Damn, bro. Bro, that means you're not good at your job at all, man.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, you going bad at your job, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
So
Dang, man. So,
yeah.
so how did you handle like, like making up that money that
Mhm.
you're getting reduced for?
So this is when the realistic thing kicked in. So while I was like training and doing all these things, I remember Jamaica had me in a tier system. So Jamaica used to send me a little money here and there until that cut off completely for a year. Because after
Hold
my
on, then I give money?
Jamaica sent me, I think,
You
400.
know if you call, you know. You know if you call him money in a boat. You don't know
Yeah,
like yeah,
yeah. So they
eh.
sent me a little stipend monthly, and
Yeah,
that's after World Championship year. It was the 2018 year, and then after a while,
yeah,
the money just evaporated. The money gone. So I had a little money from that point that was paying like little things, food here and there, but
yeah,
injuries kept coming back. Right, injuries kept coming back, and I'm like, yo, like, no, I'm not at University of Alabama. I cannot pay for this out of the
yeah,
contract that I have now. Like, you know what I mean? So no, I have to be able to like to find a job or whatever, like to be able to like combat that. You know what I mean? And it was tough, bro. Like it was a
injuries. What injuries were you faced with?
most of the like the things that I was like, injuries. The injuries that I had, I never had hamstring problem, and I started having hamstring problem. So I was like, yeah, this is a
Mm,
new injury I'm picking up.
yeah,
I can't practice because my hamstring like felt like a tweak muscle, so I kept having that. I'm like, I never pulled a hamstring, so like I couldn't move. I mean, so that was like plaguing me every year back to back. But however, people don't know what athletes is going through. They just assume that like
yeah,
he's bad now. He's trash and all this stuff. But
yeah,
I'm not sharing it online. Like I'm not telling people that Stephen Gayle was hurt the whole time. Like, you know what I mean? In my head, I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, man, I'm not telling anybody anything. So people was just like saying like all sorts of stuff.
Fell off.
Yeah, fell off. Basically, once you're Jamaican and you don't
Yeah,
run
man, you wash up.
fast, you wash, bro. I
You're not
tell
good
you,
again. Yeah, man.
it's
You're
not
not
good.
good again, man.
They don't know that
Yeah,
injuries was plaguing me all every after, like I said, after that 2017 season. Injuries was plaguing me all the way after that, and I tried my best to like to stay on top of things, but it just wasn't working. It wasn't working,
it
man. I did
wasn't
everything I
working
could.
at all.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so after the 2019 season, I'm assuming
Hmm.
you decided that, professional tracks wasn't for you anymore.
So and this is like the sad part about that story. I remember because the whole goal of me doing track, honestly, was to figure out a way to like, yo, everybody want to make their mother proud. Like, you know what I mean? Every
Yeah,
man would love to have, you know what I mean? So my goal was like, yo, my goal is to make them see me on TV. Like my community, just the one community say, yo, cause them used to call me like Nene. That was my nickname back in like Jamaica. Nene.
yeah,
Nene on TV. That was like the thing for me. Like, yo, I want my mom and everybody from the church family them to be proud. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
2019, I remember like I looked at like, my contract and I was like, bro, I'm making nothing. Like this is like nothing. Like
yeah,
I'm really like I'm making as much as a McDonald's worker. That's how bad it was, if I had to be a comparison,
yeah,
right? So I was like, you telling me I can go to McDonald's as a track athlete and make the same as the person who's working behind the fryer? At this age,
yeah,
I was like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. During this time, no one called, no one speak to me. People, I was just isolated. It was just me, the coach, and one or two friends that occasionally speak to me during this whole time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that was it pretty much. And I was like, well, what I gotta figure out something. So I remember I made that
Mm,
call to my mother and I'm talking to her. I was like, hey, I think I'm ready to walk away from track and field and but like, like telling her all these things, she's like, okay, she's all right,
no,
cool.
no,
She
she
was
was okay
no,
with it.
no, no. So my mom, like she's my mom been a principal for years. You know what I mean? So she's an
Okay.
academic person. So she knows
Yeah,
like numbers wise that doesn't make sense. Cause like I remember
yeah,
I
yeah,
asked her. I remember one time I asked her for money. I asked my mother for money, bro. And I was in back, bro. I never asked her for money in my life. I asked her for money.
yeah.
She said, "No, man, what's going on?" Right? So when I started like
Mm,
explaining it to her, she was like, "Yo," she's like, "So why you running track still?" And I was like, I was doing it because I want to make you proud. And she's like, well, I'm proud already. So what you do it for again? So I was like,
mm,
Chano, hold on. Me never think about the part. Me never, because the whole point was to make you proud. And she said, that already happened a
yeah,
long time ago. So she said, what you doing
yeah,
it for now? So I was just quiet, bro. That whole day I'm sitting down, I'm like, damn, me really this a run because me not like it no
yeah,
more. I can't like it. Me don't love it. I
yeah,
can tell you that for
bro.
sure. But like,
Yeah,
what are you here to do it for? Yeah,
yeah,
man.
bro.
So that when the realistic thing kicked in, and I was like, all right, well, I have a degree. You feel me? I have the connections. Let's start working
Yeah,
on that. And that's what I walked away completely from track and field. I didn't announce retirement. I didn't talk to
Yeah,
anybody. I just listen.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
man. I
listen.
best way that for you it still. Is me? Best way for you it still. So what degree did you end up getting at Alabama?
So when I was at Alabama, first was environmental science and stuff like that. So that was my degree in environmental science. And after I left Alabama, like I got my MBA in economics and finance. So after that, so yeah, so I switched like completely and just like go straight into like you know what I mean that's
Business.
yeah like street business like for real. So yeah,
Yeah,
man, like that was a journey, bro. The transition
yeah,
that was that was tough.
yeah. How long was the MBA course?
I think I was 2 years, I think 2 years,
2 years.
2.5 years, yeah.
Was it
So
at Alabama,
no, it was in New York. It was at a
New
university in New
York?
York. Mm.
Okay, all right.
That's,
So why did you choose the MBA?
to be honest, so after like the track thing finished and whatever, and I'm like, all right, well, I gotta figure out some way how to make money, right?
Mhm.
Not just like make money to be like I feel like when people leave track and field having that mentality you have and being able to be consistent when it comes to working. Like you wake up early every morning to train. You're a
Yeah,
person with time regiment and time scheme and all these things that makes you who you are. When it comes to the
yeah,
working world, it's actually you can apply that discipline easy.
yeah. Easy,
Just
easy.
apply the
Yeah,
discipline and you're there. So just learn that, just get a knowledge and a skill and then apply that discipline and then go from there. So for me, I
yeah,
was like, all right, well, I want to do something that made me money, right? Like whatever it is, the highest. I went online. I'm like, which
yeah,
career is making the most money? Which degrees? Which like, and I see
yeah,
it was finance, it was tech, and those are the two things I was like, nurse. I'm gonna say, me can't go in a hospital. Me not do that, right? You know what I mean?
yeah. Nah,
Yeah, from another one. So like those are the career path that I was seeing, and most of these
yeah,
people like, required you to have MBA in some sense or like anything in business and finance background, and I'm not coming from that traditionally. So I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
for me, like, to be as much qualified as possible, so I don't have to go through a lot of those things. Like you know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's why I end up like going that way instead. And even then, it was still tough because I have no experience.
yeah. I mean, you live from environmental science to an MBA. Like
Yes,
that's like two different pathways. Yeah, bro.
two
That's
different pathways.
far, man. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, so after you graduated from the university with your MBA, which is congratulations. A lot of
Oh,
people don't have MBAs. Yeah, I mean, so hats off again for that. What was your next step?
so I would say now I have no experience because that's the thing, like, and that scares me about like track and field athlete that get to a certain age still doing track and field with no work experience, right? So now a starting topic, I can go to a job interview and say like, hey, I went to the world championship, or I could be like, I went to the Olympics. That's a great conversation starter. However,
Yeah,
what have you done? Have you ever done this as far as in a professional realm? Have you none of that? So a lot of athletes is gonna be like leaving the sport at an older age in your mid 30s trying to get an entry level job because you're not going to make six figures out the gate. That's just how it works. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, it's possible. It is possible, but if you're
Yeah,
making
well,
six
it is
figures,
possible.
you're gonna make six figures. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's definitely possible. However, like based on a person who went to college for like a degree that doesn't make sense. Because that's the thing, like I
yeah,
think Hakeem Bloomfield like shed some light on it. A lot of track athletes and like just athletes in general will get a
yeah,
degree that not really a thing that's gonna be it's not gonna hold any weight when you leave the
yeah,
professional track and field realm. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you're not like I said, depends on what you decide to do. You're not gonna just jump straight into six figures. You have to work your way up, which is still good. But
yeah,
imagine doing that at the age of 35. It's so much more
yeah.
tough.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, hopefully, a lot of athletes before them, get out of the sport, them have them build, kind of repertoire where they can get like some connection links, or whatever we like to call it, because it's rough, bro. It's rough, Not
Yeah,
all of us can be Stephen Gales, you know what I mean?
I'm with.
Not all of us can be,
Nah, it's a lot more of me out there than you think that want to help back to this, give back to the sport. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So I mean, what are you currently doing now?
So right now I work in I work for a bank. So I'm still in the finance realm and stuff like that. So I work as a lead business system analyst.
And could you explain what that is?
So a business system analyst is basically I'm the person who work on the interface when it comes to like, for example, like I work with like I can't say that, but the bank that I work with predominantly, like you ever look into to get a loan or services or whatever, the application that you
Yeah,
click in, the interface,
yeah,
I work like, creating a bunch of those interface people to be able to get loans or be able to get whatever, like FICO credit score, like all that stuff. I help create
yeah.
most of that. Mm. On the
Okay,
IT and business lead side. So
okay.
yeah,
So how do you like that side of like, the workforce?
bro. I'll listen. If I could influence anybody to get into stuff, I'm like, yo, listen, go into tech, go into everything with business. Real estate is out there. You can also get into that. Like whatever your strong suit is,
Yeah,
just do it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because I've tried a few jobs before I even got to this point. You know what I mean? But remember me
yeah,
finished kind of earlier versus
yeah.
later.
True, true.
So
Yeah,
I think it's more like I like it because, like I said, I'm actually doing something where I can actually see the result. Like
yeah,
if tomorrow you hear that Instagram is down, and then when it comes back
yeah,
on, you updates, and I'm the one that did
yeah,
that, I'm like, all right, cool. Like my job makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
So
for that.
what were you doing? What were you doing before you were doing this? Because what I mean, you're
So
saying like you didn't.
I
Yeah,
stayed in the even before that. Let's see. Let me say like the first job. The first job when I this is when I like finished track and whatever. I was working and it's so crazy. Like the first job was like side hustle where like I work as a security, right? I work at a security, bro. A real talk. This is just being honest. I worked at a security guard at this place called Castle and Spa Hotel in New York. When I this is when I just
Mhm.
finished track. I'm gonna talk to like them. I'm gonna talk to nobody. Like my friends didn't even know I got back to New York because I was just like
Yeah,
so down and
shit,
embarrassed. What? Shame, bro. Because I'm like,
yeah,
yo, what? Like, yo, me, like, but then every night I still know the security that office in I'm I said, yo, you know, bro, last week you was on TV running to your country. I know,
yeah,
yeah, for security job are going easy, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, bro,
yeah.
this is paying the bills. But at the same time, like, I was just like so down on myself, bro. Like, I was
Yeah,
bad, bro. You know what I mean? And my high school coach reached out to me and was like, "Yo, like, come on, man, be smarter than that. Like, you okay? Like, stop being so down on yourself because please everybody and all these things." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know what?" He's like, "Keep doing what you have to do, brother. It's not like you left school and you don't have nothing. You know what I mean?"
Fox,
He's
fuck,
like, "Use your connection, use your degree, talk to people, and start like get out more." But every time, mistake, I haven't been around a track for like I went to the nationals, the last nationals in Texas, right? But
yeah,
I didn't go around the track. I didn't talk to track people. I did everything as much as possible to stay away from track, so I don't have the conversation to like why you stop run. That was the
pride,
toughest
bro,
conversation to
pride,
have, bro. It was so
bro. Yeah, bro.
crazy,
Them
crazy,
them thing they play by your mental, bro.
bro. It's
Because
crazy.
you feel like you let down people more than you let down yourself.
Self,
Because
yep.
honestly, yeah, bro, that's devastating, bro. So how no man, go through, man.
Oh, so that's I said that's a mental battle you have to go through when like you finish track and field, and especially if you was like what the people who were number one then, for example, I know they're not
Yeah,
seen as first anymore. People don't talk to you as much. People not friendly with you as much. Now you're going through this by
yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean? So it's always
Honestly, bro, one of the reasons why like, I kinda wanted to do this is because like me, obviously me go champs, you know what I mean? I'm see like, the name brand at least them, bro. The man and the woman them just kind of just like fizzle out, bro. But them still have this bunch amount of followers on Instagram, and some of them their accounts are private and whatnot. So in a sense, I mean, I guess me kind of get where you're saying like isolation is depression
Mhm.
because them essentially fall off of the earth. They
Earth,
don't
yeah,
post anymore. You know what I mean? Like them just put themselves in this like athletic bubble and say,
yeah,
boy, if me not run fast, I eat that.
yeah. You know,
Yeah,
man,
bro.
years ago.
Yeah, yeah, me get what you're saying. Yeah, 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 I get what you're saying.
That feeling is a horrible feeling, man. So I was doing this job as a security or whatever, right? And one of my friends from college, he worked at this company like in Arizona called Golder, right? So he reached out to me. He was like, "Yo, like what you doing, whatever." He's like, "Yo, well, this place for me there about a job, right? You know what I mean? Like you want work." And I'm like, "Bro, anywhere, I'm coming. I'm there. I'm there."
Yeah,
Next day, I fly out Arizona. I'm start the job, bro. Man, I work, everything good. I'm like, "Yo, thank you, Lord. Now my job now will
yeah,
actually do it make sense." And this is the first time I realized that I had a job that was making me more money than what track and field was making me. The
yeah,
first real job I had made me more money than track and field. And I was like, wow,
yeah,
like this is different because I was doing all this on the track to barely making ends meet. To know I'm like
yeah, bro.
financially well, like stable, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it was, bro, it was a big like shocker. And from that job went on and I kept like elevating from being there for a year working as a quality assurance person. Then I met the
yeah,
first project manager, and then I went to get like a certification for that, and I just kept went like up ranks in different country companies. So I went from there.
yeah,
I went to FedEx, PNC Bank. I worked for Facebook, and then now I'm back at PNC. So that's how everything like just did
yeah,
full circle.
man.
Yeah, bro.
You have a whole heap of experience now, bro.
Mm,
Whole heap
yeah,
of
man. So
experience,
yeah,
bro.
bro. So that's
Yeah,
that's
man. I
that's how
mean,
it's up to be, man.
with all this experience that you have, though, I mean, as a former athlete and now into the working world, a successful working world, what kind of advice would you give to younger
I
athletes?
think when you're when you're young and you're like leaving the high school world, right? Obviously, you don't know exactly where you want to be sometimes, right? Sometimes most of those decisions, especially what I noticed with the top tier Jamaican athletes, them have so much people in their ears telling them what to do. And at the end of the day, I
Facts.
think all athletes like you should sometimes just trust your instinct because and you cannot listen to what everybody else is saying because you have
Yeah,
to envision to see where you want to see yourself in the next 5, 10 years. And obviously, you have to be very realistic about that goal. So set that goal and be
yeah.
realistic because you're not gonna be Usain Bolt. You're not gonna be a
I mean, you
Shelly.
live on,
Yeah, no. I feel like anything is possible. When I say that, don't throw away your dream, but always make sure that if you go the college route, make sure you get a degree that makes sense. You feel me? If you go
yeah,
to college, if you go the professional route, make connections that will be valuable to you after you're done with the sports. And when I say like make
yeah.
connection, like you don't need to just hang out with track people. Like a lot of
Facts,
people, the only people they hang out with
facts.
is track people. Hang out with people from not even athletes. Hang out with some people that's into business. Hang out with people who's an artist. Hang
Yeah,
out with
yeah,
different backgrounds because these people are what you're gonna be around in the world majority of the time.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna be
Because that's,
sitting
I
across
mean,
from an Olympian.
yeah, bro. I mean,
No
because
chance.
yeah, it's that's how you're growing up when you put yourself in like different environments. Because you cannot grow with just sunlight. You need water and you need to take care of yourself. To
Indeed.
me, tree you just grow some, bro. Real talk. Real
Speak to
talk,
people,
bro.
man. I think another thing I'll say, like, I want athletes to be able to carry themselves in a way where like you're marketable. You know what I mean? Like now
Yeah,
these guys has the NILDs at NIL
yeah,
deals that they're accessing. I think you're not taking as much advantage, especially track athletes. I think they need to listen.
yeah. I mean, it also. I mean, the thing is, you see, with NILs, it's a sticky
Mm,
situation because it's like Caribbean athlete. Because remember, they're on a F1 visa. They can't
yeah,
technically work. You know what I mean? So it's also a gray area that is, for most like American athletes.
yeah.
Unless you're like really good, they can like work around that. Whereas like I guess
Hmm.
some of the Puma athletes they get paid with Puma Jamaica, but I'm not sure how that really works. we'll get some information upon that. But yeah, it's more about, it's kind of geared more towards like American athletes. And we can't really
Okay.
blame them for not taking it.
But you
It's
see,
a gray area.
we're in a social media driven time and era, right? And
Yeah,
if you're a person who just post a lot anyways and you're not getting paid for it, why not just turn that, especially like as athletes, especially as an athlete who's like who talks and say all these things, but post to talk about it. Tell people about what's
yeah,
the reality of professional track and field because it's a lot of professional athlete. I think they don't even market themselves at all, and
yeah. And
they're
that's also
really
in the
good.
contract. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's in the contract.
so it's like they market themselves so bad. Like, why are you a two-time Olympic medalist and nobody really know you have a social media
Who
presence?
you are.
They don't really know much
Yeah,
about you.
yeah,
So
Fox. That's Fox.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, man. So yeah, bro.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Stephen. Thank you for spending some
yeah,
time with
man.
us. Thank you for the reasoning. Thanks for the advice. I wish you all the best in the business world. And hopefully we
Thanks.
can call upon you when an athlete decides that yo, they want to move, you
Yeah,
can get some advice from you, some guidance.
definitely, definitely. I said reach out. I said like I'm always don't matter if I post like fashion stuff on my Instagram. Reach out to me, yo. Like you know
Yeah,
what I mean. Like I'm always open to talk about like yo, what's the best route to go based on your skills and go from there and give you some connections. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
man. Give thanks to me
So,
and thank you,
thank
brother.
you
As I
very
stay
much.
safe. Yeah, man. Blessings, my bro.